I see the link. I'll tweet it out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do the same.
All right.
I know, but
So-
I'll wait till you tweeted it out and retweet yours. It seems easier.
All right, so it looks like we're live. ¿Qué pasa? Welcome to WF. Right now it's WF, but normally it's W.F.C. We're missing Coop right now. So this is podcast number 4. And we got old Witty. What's up, Witty?
Yeah, good man.
Got myself Fastback. And then normally we have Coop. He'll be joining us shortly later. And we got our special guest, the one and only, the Godfather.
Xbox One
OG
fanboy.
gamer.
Ah,
The Stinger, old Mike.
Stinger of the ringer.
We got Mike from NOG Podcast, which comes on
Shalom, boys. Shalom.
Sunday night at 9 p.m. We'll give you a plug.
Ah, thank you.
First plug of the night.
First plug of the night. I feel special. What's
Yes,
going
sir.
on, boys?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
This
good.
is my debut on the W.F.C podcast.
And it's
Loving
good to
it.
have you, man.
Well, we were trying to get you on a while back, but we know we start kind of early, so we're
Yeah,
early.
well, unfortunately, these 7 p.m. weekday podcasts, man, they don't come that often. I can't make too many of them, but
I do appreciate it. Yeah.
the honor is mine.
I said the other week we'll have to get you to book a day off or something.
Well,
But-
here you have it. I worked from home today, so I could do it.
Well, he has to wipe the boss at home, so and my boss, she's okay
Yep.
with it too. So, but no, yeah, we're glad you're here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. This is great, man. I'm watching good friends take off on their own. It's always so cool to see.
Wow,
We need more of these.
Well,
Yeah.
you've been an inspiration to me, and as far as yeah, I think I've been following you, watching your podcast for a while.
Yeah, you've been on the podcast.
Yeah,
Would
and you had me and Coop.
Absolutely.
I pretty much met Witty and Coop on your podcast.
I've met you all through my channel.
Yeah.
All of you.
Well, I've met you all through Drakey and watching the podcast.
Yeah.
We had old Ricky Poo on last week.
I wouldn't have been friends with Drake if it hadn't have been for me watching him play GTA on your channel.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been great on many levels because I've met some great gamers by resurrecting that brand.
Yeah.
And so now I get to see my friends doing their thing, and it's just great because this is really what the internet communities and the gaming communities need. They need shows like podcasts like this that it's kind of for gamer by gamer, and that's you guys, and it's just such a great thing to see, and I appreciate you guys wanting to have me on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I told you before, before I would just roam around the forums and stuff like that, when certain games and, but, I didn't really interact with people online in podcasts. But when I found you guys, you and I found Enrique, well, I remember, yeah, because Enrique, you two were podcasting together in the early days. Right?
He was a co-host of the NLG podcast as well.
Yeah. And and like I told you that I found a home, because I watch other podcasts and that I don't want to hear all the drama, the console war stuff. It started getting further into that. I was like, I gotta go. So when I found your podcast and a couple others, I was like, this is where I belong. I'm comfortable, and then we started gaming together. So I'm good. I love it, so. And here I am right now because I'm kind of, you guys inspired me, so this is just for fun.
Well,
so
I have to say, I mean, that you humble me. I'm. This is not like it's not like I'm really any big to do as it is. We just small channel, small group of great gamers, and you guys are, a part of that. Whether you're in the chat room, whether you're, whether you sub to the show one night to taking a guest spot. But even like I said, even in the chat room, you guys are part of what we do. And so, to hear that, and that also speaks to, HCK and Juan and Frankie and Nate and the boys, and that's very humbling. And I appreciate it. I really, really, really do.
That's it's all about. It's like I told Enrique. It doesn't matter if I'm in the podcast because he's invited me on a few times, or I'm in chat. I'm good. So yeah, that's what it's all about. So right now, W.F.C. we're early, we're new, so we got to take those early spots. We're not there yet to do prime time like NOG and rest of you guys. No. It's all
right. You gotta wait for the network to slide you into.
Well, we don't want to step on any toes.
To slide you in that spot.
We gotta wait for people to get fired and get say something wrong. Gotta go.
There's a Monday spot that's open.
What? We've talked about that, but Coop, like how it is. It's hard to try to get everybody on the same schedule.
Well, it is, and you guys are. Some of you guys are West Coast, and Witty, of course, is way.
I'm South Central,
East Coast. Oh, that's right. You're South Central.
Coop is West, and then Witty is way East.
Yeah, Witty is way over East.
Basically 8 hours between me.
So, but
I don't know how Witty manages our podcast.
Oh yeah, that's
I kind of live on American time as it is for the most part. So.
Yeah,
nice.
That's because he games with a lot of us.
UK time shit. Let's be honest. I'm clever.
It kind of is, but there's not a whole lot you can do about it, because geography and stuff. So.
So before we get on our main topic, Mike, what are you gaming right now? What have you been playing?
So, actually, last couple of days I've been more mucking around with the new dashboard on the Xbox One, and you have to excuse me, I'm wolfing down dinner too.
Yeah. Eat that mac and cheese.
That's right. Stofers, baby. So last week, I went to New Jersey. Everybody kind of knows it by now. I went to New Jersey to this expo, and didn't get much out of it except for finally repurchased myself a $35 OG Xbox, because long ago the hard drive in mine died.
Yeah.
And I know that Microsoft announced backward compatibility with the OG Xbox and the Xbox One, but
it's only going to be a limited selection.
Their backward compatibility on the 360 so far really hasn't touched a lot of my good collection, so I don't really trust the.
This is thing. It's playing waiting game, isn't it? Do you really want to be waiting on Microsoft to tell you when you can play it next back compact game?
Nope. So I got myself my OG Xbox back, and I've been actually playing that the last couple nights, reminiscing on some of the great stuff that. Let me tell you, that system is so, for its time, so fantastic, and it was really only meant to be kind of Microsoft's foot in the door to the console world, and it turns out to have some just fantastic games. And so it's good to have that back, and that's what I've been doing the last couple nights other than playing with the dashboard. little Toe Jam and Earl 3 action.
I've got to wait on that.
Yeah, I'm not part of that preview either.
From sounds of it, I'm pretty glad. Hopefully they
Well,
can sort it out.
I mean, we could talk about that whenever you guys want. I've got some initial impressions, and then we're going to demo it on Sunday. But I've got some initial thoughts when you guys are up for that.
Yeah, man, let's crack away. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in the alpha, right?
I'm in the alpha ring.
Okay.
I've been debating on whether to switch to beta ring or not, because I've got option to straight do it now.
It's not going to hit the. I don't think it's going to hit the beta ring for a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I might change over then, because I was in ring 4, but now I chose ring 3, and I'm just debating whether to go to that second one, that beta one, because it does say that there may be bugs in this and other. I don't want it bricking my Xbox in, as I don't have a warranty for it.
Yeah, that's why I haven't even tried the preview or even got in it. I just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm an IT guy. I'm used. It's you know, you take it. I think that you guys have the right attitude about it. It's you have to understand that you're preview testing something. There's going to be bugs. I haven't seen as many bugs as other people have, so I consider myself lucky. Or I've seen them and I haven't been so freaked out about it, because I'm well aware, as a guy who's worked with computers for 30 years, hey, that's what being in a preview program is, and you take that with the advent of also getting to see things before everybody else. But it comes with a trade-off, and so I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can understand. That's why it's funny seeing people complain about it on Twitter, and I'm like, you're on it's volunteer. You're on the program.
You signed up for this. Yeah, you signed up for this.
But I think it's a good thing. I like seeing Xbox doing this. It's not like they're forcing this stuff on everybody else. So those who are volunteer to go through the preview program.
Oh, it's definitely nice though, because I've just changed it though with names, that it's easier to get into that beta ring. Because I were in ring 4, and God knows when I'd have got out of ring 4 into ring 3, and then God knows how long I'd had to wait till beta. But now I had option. I could straight go to beta.
Yeah.
Because I'm over level 4 and I've been part of it for over 4 months. Yeah, so that's definitely a good improvement, I think.
And I don't know
how much you want to risk it.
Yeah, I don't know how fast or slow you can slide in and out of the alpha ring. I've kind of always been in the alpha ring, and I don't know if I ever had to. I don't know if I can't remember if I had to sign up for it, or if just because I was in the insider program, they put me there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember. But I'm happy to be in it.
I've always had to select it, and it gives you like a little warning and that. Look, are you sure?
Okay. I mean, I haven't. I've only gone in there to do the quests and the surveys. I haven't really messed with trying to change. I honestly don't want to back out of it. I kind of, like I said, you take the good, take the challenge with it, and I'm okay with that. So I don't want to kind of mess that up. I'm very happy to be the guinea pig for people.
Yeah, and that's what's cool is that, and then Sunday I look forward to, hearing more. Because you're going to stream it, right? You're going to show it on your.
Yep. We're going to show it live. We'll do a live demo like we usually do.
Yeah, definitely be watching that, man.
Yeah.
So, and when the PS4 version 5 firmware comes out, we'll live stream that stuff too, and we'll make sure everybody can see the stuff that will do. But it's one of the niceties of being able to do what we do.
Yes, sir. I agree. That's what it's all about. Pass that information out to everybody else, and hopefully you don't people not misinformed. So
No, you don't. That's the last thing you want is
No.
for, yeah.
And I think earlier today I listened to Ran and Jez Xbox 2, and they had Mikey Barr jumped in on their podcast. So he had a lot of good talk on it too. So,
All right.
Yeah, I like what I'm hearing. So
That's good stuff.
I'll wait. I'll be patient. When it comes out, I'm ready. So
Yep, it's got some good stuff. It's got some stuff I'm not as thrilled with, but it's got some nice enhancements to it that hopefully we'll be able to help kind of mold it and get some of the things that I think for example, I don't know who, honestly, I'm just being dead honest. I don't know who asked for the home screen redo, because that's bizarre and kind of unwieldy. It's definitely the
green bar. That's what
yeah. I kind of, it's almost like they said, hey, let's give somebody let's give people the NXE from the 360 without all the blade stuff on it. And so it was like,
I just want to be able to see my background image a bit better.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying.
You compare Xbox One to PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 4 is just shit up. Compared, you get you don't get any next to no like blocking your picture.
I mean, honestly, between the crossbar and the current dashboard that you guys have, I like the Xbox One dashboard, but I've never been a fan of the crossover, the crossbar stuff. I've tolerated it. I had it on the PSP, I had it on the PS3, I had it on the PS4. I mean, it's fine, but as dashboards go, as informational dashboards go, the Xbox dashboard, whether it's the 360 or the current iteration, is fine.
That's bullshit.
See, I think if they wanted to customize it, so the whole thing about the new dash is customization. Being able to take whatever you want, put it on your home screen, and that's all great. I think that's wonderful. I think that is that's what should be in the current dashboard. But I think they could do that with the current look and still give you that customization where you can add your own stuff to the home screen without having to scroll through it. That's the thing I think I don't like about it, is you have to scroll through everything. You want to see where your next friend is. You have to hit down, and instead of still being able to see the stuff that's at the top of the screen, whether it's launching a game or that kind of thing, it just completely gets rid of that and goes to another thing. And then you hit down again, and then, my one friend is gone, and here's my other friend. So and then if I want to get to my pins, you basically got to go across the ocean, and it's just not, for some reason, it just, to me, it's too much movement to get to what you need to, where I think they could have put everything on the screen right in front of you and still had the same customization. And that's going to be the feedback. I've already given that feedback to, in the Insider app, and I think that's what I'm going to continue to tell them and hope that they listen.
Well, you got to be honest.
Yeah. The new guide, and you'll see it on Sunday. The new guide's heavenly. Like they moved it from a vertical guide to a horizontal guide. And believe it or not, while it doesn't sound like much, the ease of getting through the guide now is spectacular. And they actually brought some things together. The game DVR is now part of a broadcast and capture tab. And so that puts everything in one central spot where you can see it. And that's good stuff. The guide's awesome.
Can you still do that press select though to go to your game DVR?
Well, you could, to do a screenshot, you still have to you still basically have to stop the game to take a screenshot. You know, thanks anti-connect people. That's on you. But you know, beyond that, it's still, you know, taking video is still easy. And I tell you, I like what they did even in the current dashboard. I like how minimalist they made the game DVR. There where you basically just it's almost a tab and not necessarily a whole like module. So when you get down to that, that is stuff that they did that is a net positive. So the guide very much a net positive, but the home screen, I'm not loving.
Well, hopefully, after some feedback, you know, they'll make some changes before that goes any further.
Well, it depends. It depends on how many other people.
Done it in past.
Doesn't it? Does it all depends on how many other people don't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you know, no, these Xbox execs love going on Twitter, so they should have heard it by now.
No. Well, whether they listen is a whole different thing. This is like I said. It's the weird thing is that they specifically said, well, this is what the fans want, and all I can think of is who asked for this, because the people you think have asked for this are the ones now complaining about it. So exactly who wanted this home screen? It wasn't us.
Well, I guess the only people that are probably asking it for is those who are participating and giving feedback, but that that's only a certain minority of so many people. So if people don't say anything, then they're gonna assume, yeah, okay, this is what they want.
Yeah, but they had to get there in the first place. Like somebody according to them, somebody said to them, hey, you know what would be awesome? I'm thinking, who did?
Maybe that's what they got those interns for, telling them, hey, go do the research, get on Twitter, get out there in forums, and then come back and let's figure something out.
But I haven't even seen that stuff on forum. Like I get around the feedback the site. I get around gaming forums and stuff like that. I hadn't seen anybody say, hey, you know what would be great is if you totally disjointed the home screen. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So, again, if enough people will say, no, this isn't what we asked for, that they'll change it.
Hopefully they'll give us more memory for his captures, because it pisses me off that I'm always running out.
Oh, I don't even think about it.
Yeah. So, other than that, you just been gaming dashboard.
And, yeah, unfortunately, you don't get any achievements for the dashboard.
I saw your deal out, going to the convention for Coleco, and I was going to tell you. See, the first problem that I saw there was the name Coleco. You should never have gone to a convention with Coleco. I didn't grow, and the only reason why I say that because I didn't grow up on Coleco. It was always Nintendo. So because you didn't grow up with Nintendo, right? I think you and HDK.
I was a Sega guy.
Yes. So, I was like, yeah. See, I don't think I would never have gone to a Coleco convention, but yeah, I thought that was funny how you get there and there's like, where the heck is everybody? What is this?
Well, that was the whole. Coleco is the reason I went.
Oh shit!
You had Coleco, right, Witty?
I don't even know what a Coleco was, to be quite fair.
All right, look.
I saw some big thing. I saw one of your pictures and had some big massive stick to it or something. Looked like a dildo, but Whatever.
Wait, what?
I don't know what kind of game system you got over there. But...
Yeah, what do you what? I'm not even sure.
So wait, let me, because I only saw so many Coleco consoles back in the day. So are the Coleco consoles?
There were two.
Dial, like you got the dial controller, right? And then wasn't there one that had like buttons?
Okay,
numbers?
so yes, so there were two. There was the Coleco Telstar, which was this. It was basically in the Pong era. It had a couple dial controllers, and it had a gun. It was actually one of the first systems to do. Nintendo wasn't the first system with a gun. This was.
I don't believe that, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
It had a gun, and you shot dots on the screen.
It was like wired to it, though, right? Did it have?
Oh yeah, it was totally wired.
Yeah.
And then they had the ColecoVision.
Yeah.
Now, the ColecoVision was one of, at the time, when you had, it was right before it left the market when the NES was coming on the market. Mm-hmm. So there was roughly, there was a little bit of overlap between them. But at the time that the Atari 2600, the Atari 5200, and the Mattel Electronics and Television were duking it out.
Yeah.
And you had basically these really basic looking sprites and games and like, basically the games were very I don't know, it's not, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just games. Yeah, I mean, anybody who's ever played Pac-Man on the Atari 2600 understands it didn't look like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And then you had games like E.T. that, we all know what happened to E.T.
Yeah. Even Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, okay.
Oh yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, they were all the games were so simplistic and so graphically vanilla that you had no idea, what you got. The television came along and was better at it, but it still wasn't fantastic. At the time, it was. But then along comes the ColecoVision, and the ColecoVision had at the time the most perfect-looking arcade ports that you could get in a home console.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the first game I ever played on it was Zaxxon. And it was so close to the actual version of Zaxxon that you played in the arcade that it was crazy. Like it was just, it was bringing the arcade home. And the graphics were like nothing you could get at the time. The games were aplenty. I mean, Nintendo licensed Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. onto the Coleco, and they were the most perfect arcade ports of the game that you could get on a home console at that time. Yeah. If you put that up against the Atari 2600 and Intellivision versions of Donkey Kong, it was like night and day. And in fact, when they finally put that stuff on the NES, the NES version of Donkey Kong, you looked at that next to the ColecoVision version of that game, and it was extremely close. So I mean, they're really, at the time, it was the consummate arcade console. It had some crazy things about it. The controller had, as you were saying, numbers on it.
Yeah.
So, it had a joystick and it had side buttons, but it had a number pad on it because the Intellivision did. But you couldn't get better looking arcade games at the time. You just couldn't.
And the Coleco was more expensive too, right?
Oh yeah, it was like $2.99 or something like that.
So that's why that never found my house because we were poor. So
yeah.
I don't know how we afforded to get the Nintendo, but we did. That was around Christmas time. So, but even like a Sega, I think when the Segas first came out, it's like my mom was not going to buy a second game system in the house. So.
Oh, I hear you.
And I think the only reason why we got a Nintendo because we went and hid the Atari. So that doesn't work.
It rarely started for me with Mega Drive, Genesis, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And like you said, that was a big thing back then because I remember, when we went to the arcades, and if you could bring that game home, that was big because I remember, you remember when Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, remember Punch Out.
Oh yeah.
Before they had Mike Tyson, it's like when that came to the system at home, it was like, hey, this is cool. So,
and that's just it. It concentrated on bringing home the arcade games of that era. So it was, whether it was Donkey Kong, whether it was Mr. Do, Cosmic Avenger, whether it was any of those type of games, Zaxxon. And even today, the whole reason that Coleco exists in any fashion that it does now, and people still talk about it, is because despite the fact that the console was discontinued in 1985, not minus all these other the flashback consoles and stuff, there are still people who homebrew games for it. There are still people that are creating and selling games for the ColecoVision. You can get a mod. You can get somebody made a video processor mod that has a VGA or HDMI out on it. You can, there's just a giant library of games on top of all of that. So I mean, the system kind of still lives on in the homebrew community, and it's cool because despite the fact that the system is a little expensive to get right now, they do cost you about $100 to $150, depending on the quality of it. If you've got it, there's still stuff to play on it. So it's really neat. And so that's why, getting back to the expo itself, that's why I went, is because it had Coleco's name on it. Yeah. And that was the shame of the whole thing, was, that it was supposed to be, I was going to take my son to teach him what dad's gaming systems were like. And so that's why it was, I kind of detailed my disappointment in it, based upon what it was. It was very much devoid of anything Coleco. So, but those are the reasons that I went, was because of the name, because I was really hoping that I would get, even for myself, a sense of a nostalgia that I'm not getting these days.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one of us can get the Nintendo Super Mini.
Yeah, and make 20 of them.
Try. Yeah. Now, Witty, what have you been playing, Witty?
Over the weekend I were playing GTA because there were $double missions. Them bunker ones that you do from your mobile operation center. Yeah. They were all like $double. You're coming out with like 30-40 grand a time. It's like me and my mates, we got about 400,000 in about 2.5 hours. And you can't really fail. Well, you can fail odd one, but they're pretty much piece of piss when you're a GTA god like me. And then I got pissed off on Sunday. Well, some weird shit happened. I was supposed to be getting Dead Rising 4 on like Saturday, and it didn't turn up. But I wasn't really bothered because it was my birthday, and I ended up getting pissed, and I had a bit of an hangover on Sunday. And then on Sunday, I wasn't expecting out till like Monday because I thought like Royal Mail had fucked up. And I had postbox gone. There it was, my game. So I like, where's this been? And it was like it had been opened, everything, you know. So God knows who had it, and they might have been playing it for a day for all I know. But no, I'm thankful. At least I didn't nick it. You know, then I'd have been waiting about another week and a half for the game. And then yeah, I got pissed off with Dead Rising when I did put it in because it was like a 34 gigabyte update.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
what's
on
the disc is like only 24 gigabytes. Like that shit pisses me off. Ridiculous file, you know, ridiculous updates when you get a game.
Yeah, because I think whatever patches that came to it after the game came out, I mean, you're downloading all that too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like 34 gigabytes, it's up to a minute. God knows if it'll get any bigger. But, you know, I was just thankful that I've upgraded my internet. You know, else I'd probably been waiting ages. But I didn't even start it till Tuesday and end because, well, I was a bit pissed off and couldn't be arsed, so I just went and played GTA some more. But yeah, I've been playing it for the last few days and I'm kicking ass. I'm like level 50 odd and killed about 10,000 and odd zombies. So, you know, I'm enjoying it so far.
Nice.
No, it's pretty good. Just a bit annoying that you've got to wait fucking like half a day to play a game.
Yeah, yeah, especially when they're downloading.
It's a great game to play co-op too, Dead Rising.
Yeah, man. Well, if anyone's down for that over the weekend, I'm down. Got to try and get all them achievements knocked off at some point anyway. I know HTK and that lot should have it.
Yeah, we've got it.
Yeah, man. Just need to get on at a reasonable time for me.
Well, let's see. 4 in the morning for you.
Well, you never know. I can't guarantee to be up, but.
Yeah, as for myself, I've been working a lot of overtime the last 2 weeks, so I really haven't been playing a lot of games. I did jump in Ori. Now I was telling Coop yesterday. It seems like the older you get, you play these platform games that it can be difficult. It's like you get to a certain point where you just can't get any further. It's like, I'm done. I'm taking a break. So sometimes, that's what happened to me in Ori, but I'll jump back in it. That's a great looking game. I love it. So smooth mechanics. It's just certain areas. It's like, how the hell you get up there? And of course, GTA. Did a little bit of GTA yesterday. My brothers play a lot of GTA. So a couple weekends, and Witty's jumped in with us, and my brothers, they keep me up until 5 a.m. So
yeah, it's GTA Flying Cars, so we're going to have to get on that after.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, have you played any GTA Online, Mike?
I don't have GTA 5.
I don't have it.
I don't have it. I need. I could contribute to MPD so quickly. I could keep that game.
Yeah,
I could keep that game on the charts.
You need to help Rockstar out because they need it. Because
Yeah, they need that money.
This is why Red Dead Redemption 2 is delayed because you're not helping them out. Come on.
It's why we're not getting like GTA 6 till like 2025 or something at this rate.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Abzu on PS4.
2020, but well, you never know.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Who knows when 20?
It just depends how many more mics there is out there.
Apparently, there's a lot of us.
Yeah, but
because that game will never stop. That game is like Minecraft. It will never stop charting ever.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it, but they've got to come to a point where it's not selling as much as what they would if they got another one out, and it's got to make like $1 billion in 2 days or something stupid like that.
I think if when Red Dead Redemption comes out 2, And if that has a good online, I'm not saying it's going to be better than GTA 5, but if it has a good online setup, you're going to see a lot of people jump on that. So you probably see GTA 5 drop down a little bit.
I can't see what they can do in that world.
Oh, I'm sure they'll come up with stuff.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's just, is it got to make sense? Like, you're supposed to be a cowboy on Black Roads.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't really compete with what you can do in GTA. With, like, basically any vehicle, any type of gun.
You underestimate the horsepower, sir.
Yeah.
There's wagons.
Things of GTA.
That's right.
The best game of, well, arguably the best game of this generation and last generation all in one.
Maybe they'll let us have control of
the most
trains.
sold.
Yeah, but it's arguably the best game of both generations. There's not many. I can't think of one game that beats GTA for everything GTA does. You know, it's got whatever you want. Play GTA however you want there, and you still got, you know, your single player experience. Don't get me wrong, there's a few things that I wish that the single player had that other ones had and this one don't, but once you add in what they've done with online, it's the only game I could realistically say that's a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
And that even includes my beloved Fallout 4 or Skyrim.
Another game I haven't played.
Yeah, piss off Anchor.
Yeah.
I love Fallout 4, but you know, I wouldn't mind that.
It takes a lot of time.
It does.
It for the bit.
That's why a game like that, I wouldn't mind if they gave the option to co-op on Fallout 4. That way you can have someone come in and kind of help you out. You know, just grind through everything.
Do it like a separate one, shouldn't they? Like just do Fallout Online like they've done with Elder Scrolls. Just a bit.
But Bethesda's not known for their online stuff, are they? I mean, do any of their games have online? Besides what Doom does, right?
Studios, wouldn't they, to be honest?
Yeah, because I don't Wolfenstein that had no multiplayer, does it?
Not the current ones.
I don't think so.
Last gen there was.
And then Doom, didn't Doom have some multiplayer?
Oh yeah.
Doom was. Yeah. And that were all. It's all gone free now, hasn't it? All them updates.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, just Ori, GTA. I played some Serial Cleaner yesterday, and a little bit of Diablo. Your buddy Nate Gal. Oh, Nate was on Diablo 3, and he was able to get a iZombie pet, right? So as soon as he told us about it, we all jumped in there with him quick, and you know, got that. Nice. So that's what I love about co-op. We can all just say, hey, jump in here and let's all do this real quick, or you know. So
yeah, PvE is definitely for me pound for pound better than PvP.
Yeah, I'm not a PvP guy anymore.
Any multiplayer apart from if it's Forza, I don't mind losing on the race.
Oh yeah, Forza. That's different. I don't mind, you know, doing that one. But yeah, that's about it for me.
We got to get that Forza going again.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I've still got it.
Hey, come on, bruh.
So
I'm down anytime.
We're gonna jump to so we're talking about people jumping online, playing together. We're gonna go to our main topic, crossplay. It's been kind of a hot subject lately. You know, some people want to make more of it than what it is. You know, use it for console war arguments, but I kind of figured I wanted to just kind of dive in it and talk about the good and bad, the possibilities. And that's why I'm glad you're here, Mike, because you can give some good insight.
I don't know if I give you good insight. I give you insight.
Well, you know, if you came to the game with this, you know.
Well, online. Last time I heard about it, like Sony had just come out and said that it were for protecting their like fan base or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, like, fair enough. But I just think it's something it's never got to happen with big games. Not a chance.
Yeah.
You know.
What are you? So what are your thoughts, Mike? As far as
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think people make way too much out of this. The folks that really care about this are the ones who just want to care about it so they got something to complain about, or they have some console war checkbox to hit.
In other
I mean,
words,
let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's the only way people that I know on Twitter or on social media talk about crossplay. That's the only time they bring up crossplay.
Yeah.
And it's the same argument every time. Well, if the game's out on the PC, then why do I need an Xbox One?
You don't get yourself a PC if that's what fucking you want.
You know, because the prevailing wisdom of most, and I don't want to disparage PC gamers because I was a PC gamer for a long time. I was a LAN gamer, and my philosophy is and always will be, game on what you want. If you wish to be a PC gamer, that's great. I mean, there's nothing. There's not a thing in the world wrong with that. There's no.
It all depends if you can afford it and can be asked with all the bullshit that comes with it. And me, for one, I'll never be a PC gamer. For one,
I used to be.
I don't have the PC knowledge, because if you wanted to build this in a PC, you can't just go into it blindly and not know a goddamn thing about it.
No, you can't.
But it is a lot easier nowadays.
But you got to have to go do a little research. You can't just say,
absolutely, it is easier than it was, but that doesn't mean that doesn't. Oh, sorry, Witty, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, if you were to say, realistically, I'm going to switch to PC, you're not going to be able to do it in just one day. We know.
No, unless you buy one.
No.
It's not going to happen, and I can't be asked getting into all this PC shit. Just give me a console, give me a gamepad, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'll play whatever comes to Xbox and whatever comes to PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not for everybody.
Right, and it doesn't have to be. That's the beauty of it. And the whole point of the cross-play idea is maybe Bill loves his PC and he loves to do all the things that PC gamers do with upgrading and buying stuff and putting his rig together and stuff like that. Maybe John just wants to crack open a box, open up his console, and throw the game in and rock and roll. I mean, there's, some people like the advent of the PC gaming. Some people don't want to bother with it. And yes, I can take a PC today and hook it up to my HDTV. That's all fine and dandy. Maybe I don't want to pick up a mouse and keyboard, log into my computer, and then, use my mouse to go open a file, open a game and start playing. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you're cool, but to then say, well, there's no reason to there's no reason to buy an Xbox One. Okay, there's no reason for you to buy an Xbox One, but you're not the target of this. You're not the target. You're the target for playing the game. You're the target audience that Microsoft wants to at least enjoy the game. You're not the one that they're trying to convince to still buy a system because they figure you're not going to buy a console anyway because you're playing on PC. So, it works in some ways for Sony because they don't have the same crossplay. So if you want to play PS4 games on your PC, you have to stream them with PS Now. And, results vary, as we know. But on the other hand, you can get bandwidth out the wazoo for cheap now
Yeah.
So bandwidth isn't the big problem it used to be either. How many people are really still stuck on DSL? I mean, it's just so. I mean, technology makes PS Now work. It's just there's so many ways that these companies want to get the games in your hand, and they don't have a problem with this being one of them for Microsoft. People, it's just there's such a small cross section of folks who are PC and console gamers at the same time that Microsoft ran they had to run the numbers on this. This is not something they just looked at and said well, we're going to do it despite the fact that it sounds like everybody hates the idea. No, they know where their audience is, and they know that there's not that much of a cross that it's going to seriously impact their sales one way or another. Let me put it this way: crossplay and lack of crossplay isn't the reason that they're in the position they're in the marketplace. It has nothing to do with crossplay, and it won't have anything to do with crossplay. Crossplay will not move that needle one way or another.
People have already got a preference on whatever console they've got to get or a PC. No one's got to change that.
No, right.
Even this Scorpio with power, it will for some.
Right. The 1,000 people, let's go back to Twitter for a second. Just, we all know people on Twitter. We all know PC gamers. We all know console gamers. The amount of people that this honestly and truly affects is such a small demographic. Microsoft is well aware of that. So instead of
what is it that Play Anywhere? It's like, how many people really use that? Or how many people has it swung to buying games? So because they're getting it like on both, it's next to no one. That's why Microsoft are doing it, to look good and to people buying the shit.
Not everybody. You got to admit, right now, Xbox hasn't really attracted people to buy a bunch of Xboxes because they really haven't had the big AAA games that have attracted people right now. This gen.
Right. So that's the issue they have, not whether or not the games got crossplay.
Yeah. So, but they put their games on PC because there are people who I've seen a couple of people. I've talked to a couple like Kofi. I think one of his guys, J Move. They play on PC. So when you get like games like Ori and Cuphead, and they're on PC, they're gonna play these games, and they're still supporting the Xbox Live, ecosystem. It's still going to Xbox. So, yeah, I don't. Like you said, I don't think it's a big deal.
I think it's overblown because social media overblows it because we know those people who talk about it.
Yeah.
In the real world, and sorry, but you guys both, I think we could all kind of agree, Twitter's not real life. Twitter is where we go. So, in the real world of consumerism and things like that, this is such a non-issue for Microsoft. If anything, it helps them maybe get an extra copy or two of their game sold because a PC gamer can play it that maybe couldn't play it before, and so they get a chance at it. I could tell you that I have not in any way, shape, or form installed a single game that I have gotten that's Play Anywhere. I haven't installed a single one of them on my PC.
Yeah, like I have a Surface Pro, and I have the Xbox Live app, and I've gone on there. I played a couple Steam games, and I have a couple games on the the PC through Xbox Live, but I don't really game. It's rare if I even. But like you said, there are always going to be PC gamers. There are always going to be console gamers.
Yeah.
They're And people, it's just a few that use the argument for console wars about the whole, PC console, blah blah blah.
Right.
And this whole deal with crossplay, I've seen the argument where, because Xbox they're jumping in it right now, because they're investing into the PC world. So they, like you said, they want people to buy their games. So, but people who prefer to play on PC, if they have like Rocket League, Minecraft, they want to bring everybody into the Xbox Live ecosystem. So, but you can choose to play on either PC. Now you can play a couple of these games on Switch, Nintendo, and of course Xbox, or you can play, and if you want to play Minecraft on Xbox, you can do it either just, like I said, the Windows PC. I think even isn't if you play Minecraft on Steam, that can also crossplay also.
Yeah,
it's all part of the deal. So
yeah,
I think even iOS, right? Even Mac, it's all part of the.
Think so.
I want to understand. So people they even try to throw it back at Microsoft. So well, Xbox didn't want to do crossplay last gen. So why they getting upset with people getting upset with Sony now? And I'm kind of like, well, I look back at last gen. I played Final Fantasy 11. I don't know if you guys played any games last gen that were crossplay that you can remember.
Not that I know of, but like I was saying last week, I didn't get on
Shadowrun.
Xbox Live. I didn't get on Xbox Live till 2013 when GTA 5 on 360 came out. So that's why it's never been a major issue for me. Yeah.
Final Fantasy 11. I know it was PS2 and PC, and I
think I want to know as well, especially when it comes to like the bigger games. Like I can see crossplay being good for like the little games like Rocket League and this and other.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like these big AAAs, is it even technically possible for them to do crossplay across these networks when they're demanding so much from computer as it is in first place? Like I don't know. I'm not a tech guy, so God knows.
Oh, they can technically they can do it.
But if it's like that guy on Brap was saying last night that it's technically possible, and they've got it all depends on if the company has their own servers. Well, there must be a lot of companies out there that do have servers. Why aren't we seeing this cross-platform shit like before? Like
because there's. See, I don't know how.
Like one game every fucking 5 years or some shit.
Well, because you have to have access to. You have to have access to those networks. See, at this point, Microsoft's reasoning used to be security.
Yeah.
Now they've had some time. They've had some time to work that out. So apparently, they feel like their system is secure enough that somebody could run an API to do matchmaking and things like that without compromising Xbox Live. And remember, one of the things you have to remember about Microsoft, pretty much versus anybody else, is that they know networking. Their entire Azure system that they make quadrillions of dollars of money on in not just in the private sector of business. I mean, these guys know how to run secure systems. It's one of the reasons that Xbox Live has. I don't think Xbox Live itself, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, because I was out of it for a 2-year period, but I don't think Xbox Live was ever hacked in the way that PSN was. There's just a difference between the two companies and Nintendo and so on in the way that they handle their networking. And so they figured out how to allow someone else access to Xbox Live for friends list and matchmaking without damaging or compromising their system. It very well may be. People say, "Well, Sony just does it. They're the market leader." Yada. There's a possibility that this is a technical issue too. That they just, they don't have the robust network. They're using, I think they're either using Rackspace or Amazon Web Services or something like that. They farm out PSN to a third party.
It's some of that shit that you can't even change your name.
So they don't, it's about control, and on a technical level, they may not have that control.
Well,
and that's hard to blame them on. I don't blame them for that.
I don't blame Sony for that, because I know I read too that Yoshida is still looking into it, and like he said that he thinks like the technical aspect is easier to overcome, but then it comes down to policy and business. Like you said, and then there's issues of age restriction. How do they,
right?
I think if they come down
I think the protect. So let me just say, I will say that I think we have to protect our kids nonsense.
Yeah,
that was a load of garbage.
Yeah,
they would have been much better off just saying, at this point, we still feel like we want to segment our player base to our games, to our system. We want our players playing on PSN. I can get that. I can understand that from a business perspective. This we got to protect our kids. That was a crappy. That you know what? I usually don't care about what executives say, but I thought Phil's kind of anger on that was very well justified.
Oh yeah. I don't think Jim Ryan's the best person to, look into crossplay and.
Yeah, you notice he's been awful quiet lately.
Yeah. But when I look at it, I think crossplay can be that next step. You know how last year, going from PS2 to PS3 and OG Xbox to 360, we had that big leap. Gaming took a big leap into the online gaming, and of course, we gave a nod to Dreamcast, Sega. They kind of helped, got that going, and then of course Xbox took a hold of that, went further, and then of course Sony had to follow suit to improve like the Xbox did. I don't think we've had a good leap in online gaming since then. It really hasn't been anything that's I could say that's been a big leap. I mean, to me. So when I look at crossplay, I think crossplay could be that leap. Not maybe not for everybody, but if Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo can find a way to where I'm sure they can find a way to do a contract and say, hey, we're gonna have these servers. We're gonna find a way to have servers where they're gonna be secured. You don't have to worry about your network problems, this and that, whatever. We'll find a way. Everybody meets they can find a way to meet policy and regulations for each other, right? I can see crossplay growing, multiplayer and co-op and esports to a point where it could be like NASCAR. So Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony would be those three big companies like Ford, Chevy, Dodge, right? I can see, you can see these teams getting they're sponsored by Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. They got their own teams, and everybody's watching. And hey, look what Xbox team can do. Look what Sony. Look at the controllers. That Xbox controllers, are better for multiplayer. Or we could see some improvement on hardware, The controllers. Xbox is already doing that. I think Sony needs to follow suit. They need to make improvements on their controllers. Even Nintendo, the Pro controllers are right.
I don't believe a word.
Oh, the man's here.
So, guys.
The missing
Coop.
link
Sorry,
is the missing piece of the puzzle.
Hey. I'm trying to hold
we waited. Stay here, waited. We decided to keep on going. We don't want to end the podcast in an hour or so.
No.
We're waiting for you, buddy.
I've been trying to hold it down for you, brother.
It's not because Mike is here. The 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, it follows me wherever I friggin' go.
It took us a while to get on our main topic, but that's all right.
The G doesn't stand for gaming. It's NL Gilligan.
The 3-hour tour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and apparently, I'm being told I'm supposed to announce that that NLG is really just an Xbox podcast in disguise, and we should stop fooling everybody. Is what I'm being told.
Robot,
You might as well just come out of the closet, just submit it.
Yep, that's it.
That's
all right. You know.
Even though you spent last hour talking about ColecoVision.
Right.
Some weird
right,
shit
exactly. It's all right.
ColecoVision. What did I miss?
You missed? Yeah.
I don't know, Mike. I don't understand that. So.
Another Coleco Expo?
Yeah, man.
No, I don't think
Oh no.
Right.
We were talking about the one from last weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's funny because that's got a lot of traction.
Yeah. A lot of closet Coleco fans out there.
Apparently, there's a big retro gaming segment that has had some issues with the company that owns the Coleco name now, and and so they are relishing the fact that this expo was a bust.
I'm just surprised they're winning on front lines battling.
Well, don't worry. After the Atari box comes out, and we're gonna get a Coleco box, and what else? The Sega Mini, maybe. I'd rather have a Sega Mini. Yeah. Okay, so back on the crossplay. Real quick, back on that real quick. Let me finish my point, but
PC.
What?
That's simple answer. If it bothers you, get a PC.
Yeah, that's the thing. It shouldn't. The whole thing about it shouldn't bother anybody because, okay, if they find a way to work together and do crossplay, everybody can play on whatever they want, and that's fine. And then, all this stupid console war bullshit on Twitter. Quit talking about it. Go put it on. Go, do the talking in the game. So I'd rather see that. But like I was saying, I can see crossplay, esports growing like NASCAR, and then you can have Xbox and Nintendo and Sony. What they could do is they let the latest, like prototype controllers, even like they can use, they could be using the like the dev kits, right? They could be saying, we're watching them play these games, and they're like, look, Xbox is using the latest hardware, Sony using the latest hardware, and then they're testing all this stuff out on esports, crossplay, against each other. So all of us, we see that consumers, and we make that decision like, hey, Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, these guys are kicking ass. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy the Nintendo or the Sony, or Xbox. So, I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it. It can kind of grow, and you don't have to go buy a PS4 or Xbox just so you can play with, certain friends. If there's a game that's crossplay, you can play together. Co-op or multiplayer. So, I like to see it grow that way. But I don't know. We'll see. But Coop.
But I mean, there is a business element to it, and that's unfortunate. But while it's unfortunate, it's business. It's what it is. You know,
but I think Xbox, I think they kind of see the future of crossplay because it's money. It like you said, it comes down to money. They're going into the PC world. I think Sony eventually they're gonna have to go. Everything's gonna go online service. They're gonna have to. It's gonna be one big old app. So you're gonna have to.
I hope not. I'd prefer just to keep these consoles coming out.
Well,
but not every 4 years, because you've been moaned at for the previous 3 years for like not having enough.
Yeah.
I'll just take another 360 gen over and over again. 7, 8 years, I'll do me.
But Coop, you got any quick thoughts on crossplay?
I'm all for it in certain games. I mean, we HDK and I just had an experience here a couple weeks ago. He got the PSVR, and I just got the Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
And the game Eve Valkyrie, which is a fantastic game, has crossplay. So you can play between actually it has 3 because you can play it on the Vive as well. So
that's great.
Being such a limited player base, in the VR realm, it's kind of needed because otherwise, if you were just playing with Rift players or Vive players or whatever, you'd be hard pressed to even find a game. So, and it was amazing. What blew me away was that, and that probably goes to the player base. The first, when HDK had just jumped on and I saw he was streaming, so I thought, man, I'm going to jump in and see if I can get in there. The first match that I got in was HDK was in there. Yeah. So it wasn't even like I had to jump servers and keep logging in, logging out to try to get on with to try to find him. It was like bam, first go. I mean, I don't know what the odds of that, but yeah, it was cool. But the only the problem with it is there's no way if I'm playing. You can squad up. You can set squads, so you can go in and sort of a co-op battle or whatever. There's different missions you can do, but you have to be in a squad in order to get those missions set up. But there's no way to do that cross-platform.
Yeah,
you can't even chat with each other. I can't I can see him in my lobby or whatever, but I can't add him to my friends list because there's no way for us to communicate that way. I guess there's some sort of weird workaround to it, but it's not very easy. You can't just like, hey, I'm gonna send HTK an invite and boom, we're squadding up and playing. You got to get the luck of the draw to be able to get in the same match, and then from there you can set up a kind of a little lobby or whatever, and game from there. So it's but then even if you're in the same lobby, you still can't chat. You have to use Discord or Skype or something else to to be able to chat. So I can but I think there's definitely games that like that kind of stuff that is good. I don't think we'll ever I think cross-platform between multiplayer more competitive games I don't think is that realistic, just because there's so many given the consoles are kind of a closed box, and PC guys can tweak and do all kinds of stuff. It's just I don't see a fair playing field as far as that goes. But games, like co-op games and Minecraft, stuff like that, I can see it. I think it'd be great. I don't understand why, Sony's kind of dragging the heels on something as silly as Minecraft.
I mean, last year Sony did quite a few crossplay. I mean, they did with Final Fantasy 11 and 10. I saw. Did you play Phantasy Star Online, Mike, on the Sega Dreamcast?
Oh yes. Are you kidding me?
That was crossplay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, Final Fantasy 11 Online was also on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I played it on the 360.
I'm holding it in my hand. Unfortunately, you can't play it anymore. But
nah.
There was Rise of the Zillard, Change of Promathia, and Treasures of the At Uragan.
I played that game a lot on the 360.
Yeah, I played it.
And I believe you were able to play with PS2 and PC together.
Oh, yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah, because it was their system. It was the Play Online system.
It was Square Enix had their own system. So you had to sign in to the Square Enix deal.
Yep.
and then that puts you in on their servers with everybody else. So that's why I think.
So we also should make sure that we're all talking about the same thing. There's crossplay between console and PC, and there's crossplay between the consoles.
Yeah,
and I think we have to.
Which is
I'm kind of talking about all of them. I mean, okay, if you look at Final Fantasy XI as an example, they all did crossplay, but it went through Square Enix's Portal setup, right?
Right.
They did the whole deal. So why can't I don't understand? This was last gen. Why can't this be set up nowadays? EA has their own. Don't they have their own online? Even Ubisoft, right? What's Ubisoft? Uplay or whatever. What is it called? You know, you can sign up.
Yeah.
EA has the deal where you can get on there and sign up. You know, because when you get on Madden or whatever. So to me, it could be done. They could be the third party, and to go to Sony and Xbox and Nintendo and say, "Hey, we'll set everything up. You go in between us, and we'll keep everybody, secured." Now, like Coop was saying, as far as chatting, I don't, maybe open chat, where you can hear each other through the game, but yeah, that's probably a little bit more difficult.
Even that might be a stretch. End of the day, it's like, how much is it got to cost to set up this? And you got to do it on each individual game as well. And
well, it doesn't have to be every game, but
especially that's why I don't see third party got to do it. It might cost too much, and why they got to waste the time when no one's even got to be bothered about it.
Well, they're not going to do it on every game, though.
That's where it comes down, game to game basis. I mean, some games it's probably really easy to implement, and then other games, a game like, we keep Minecraft. I mean, obviously that's a pretty basic game, or a game like Gwent. Gwent's got, and they even CD Project Red that developed Gwent. They even said it's in the code. I mean, they can pull the trigger at any time. It's just like flipping a switch, and they can do cross-platform play or cross-console, I should say. Yeah, because it's already you can play PC to Xbox. You can even play PS4 to Xbox or to PC, but you just can't do Xbox to PS4. That's it's just it's where the two business sides kind of get complicated there. In certain games, it is they developed it into the code. It was something decided from the initial, and I think that's sort of kind of where Microsoft's trying to go with that whole UWP. They're trying to make it kind of one code that'll work across all platforms. And
across PC and Xbox.
And Xbox,
right?
Well, they're not making UWP for the PlayStation 4.
Unless
I'm sure they would like to.
I'm sure they would love. That would be the time when the Earth would implode on itself.
Right.
Well, we're almost there.
That player base.
Hey, just sawn it. I would just man up and admit that the servers are shit and all this that, and just accept it. Accept these as their servers. But it's something they never got to do.
Well,
no, who's ever going to do that?
I think Minecraft will probably be the first one that they would probably do it with. It's just a matter of, getting through all the policies and,
No, but I think Microsoft should be like cheeky cunts and use PlayStation saying that they're not going to do cross-play with PlayStation. I think they should use that as an excuse to just say, look, Minecraft's not going to get any more PlayStation updates.
Nah, they're not going to do that.
Nope. Try and blame it all on PlayStation. Say it's because of them.
No, because
they're not going to do that.
That's going to backfire on Xbox. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
I mean, just do it.
There's a point in which, that goes against your message, and not only does it go against your message. But
use it all against PlayStation. A minute they could say, well, we're doing these updates and it's not possible because they won't allow crossplay, and just say we can't update Minecraft ever again. You can still play the game, you can still buy it on store, but it's in that set state that it is now, and that's all they have to say.
Well, maybe later on down the road they come out with Minecraft 2 and they say, what?
Well, Minecraft 2 is going to be an Xbox exclusive. That's I think anybody who smart enough to see the gaming scene should know. That is probably the most likely thing. But they have to deal with what they have now.
Yeah.
Because you're leaving money on the table, though. That's the thing. I mean, you got it. It's like GTA. I mean, this game's never going to die. It's just not.
Until GTA 6 comes out.
Right. Until GTA 6 comes out. So,
they'll still charge an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah.
When you look at it and you see, well, the game's still selling.
The best time to buy it, Stinger, is if you ever see it on sale for 50% off, because you're not going to get any better than that. Not a chance.
I'm not going to have enough time to play it.
Well, you can just jump in online with us, and we always have a laugh.
I still got to beat. It's funny. 4 became backward compatible. I haven't even put that back in. I haven't even finished that.
Bought it, I installed it.
I have no desire to go back to 4.
Just give up on 4. Yeah. Go straight to 5.
So I'm not really bothered with this back compat as well. It's like I played enough stuff on 360. I only upgraded in November 2015 because Fallout come out. I'm still pretty new to this gen. I've got no need to go back and play these old games. Not so soon, anyway.
I still like playing them.
I do too.
I'm playing Toe Jam and Earl 3 right now.
I think it's great that we've got option to do it. And since I got my Xbox, I played one game back compat, and that would Dirt 3. And God knows what next one when.
Right. I mean, despite the fact that I said earlier, my catalog is not really being utilized, which is why I bought an OG Xbox. For those who do, I mean, having the option is very nice to have. So, I will always hope that we get better announcements. And I'm hoping, look, if I had the choice between throwing something into my OG Xbox and throwing it into the Xbox One, I'm going to play it on the Xbox One so that I can party chat with my friends and things like that. But given that I don't have the confidence yet that the games that I really want, other than Crimson Skies, I'll give you a great example. I do not think, because DICE doesn't mess with it anymore, I do not think you'll ever see either Rally Sport Challenge game on backward compatibility. Well, Rally Sport Challenge is still one of the best rally games that there's ever been. I mean, no offense to Codemasters and to the Dirt series, which of course was the Colin McRae series, but Rally Sport Challenge was something in and of itself. I mean, it was just those were 2 really fantastic rally games, and I'm not convinced that I'll be able to play it on the Xbox One. So this was me hedging my bet.
Yeah, well, I've never even played that game because I never even owned an Xbox.
Oh my goodness, it was by far.
How's that for being an Xbox fanboy podcast?
That's right. I don't even own the damn thing. So.
Nah, man, PlayStation all the way up to.
From now on, I have to make an announcement.
3 were terrible online.
From now on, all of Juan's retro recommendations are all going to be Xbox One games. I'm sorry. I did. You know what? Usually I ignore that nonsense. I'm getting cranky. I'm getting a little cranky because it's just ridiculous. You don't don't listen. Go if what you want is 2 hours of calling out fanboys and talking about that kind of stuff, go for it. If you are, I'm not. That's just not what we do. And I love those guys that do that. If that's what works for them, doesn't work for us. Talking about what's in the news, and having fun with the games that are out there. And look, right now, here's the one thing that I think people have to understand, and that makes a difference in the grand scheme of things. whether it's good or not, whether it is whether they should or not, you see Microsoft more in the news than you see Sony in the news, because Sony kind of keeps themselves quiet until there's something to talk about, where Microsoft is constantly talking about stuff. They might have to, given the situation they're in. Who knows? Maybe that's what, they're just a lot more vocal, and there's a lot more news out there that has to deal with what Microsoft is doing. So there are times when what we discuss on our show is skewed that way. Well, if you want a more Sony pod-centric podcast, there are plenty of those, but listen, to be honest with you, the ones that I've heard once or twice, all they really do is just bash Xbox. And we don't bash anything. That's just, there's nothing to bash on. And so if that's what you're looking for, I'm sorry, I don't have it. I can't, that's just not what our show is. And so I wish you all the best with the other shows, and I support those other shows too. I mean, I absolutely support, Brap. Enrique is a good friend of mine, and he's a great guy, and he has a different style in his podcast. And to be quite honest with you, he's a phenomenal host, I have to say. I mean, his hosting style is great. I mean, it's pound for pound, he's got more charisma with his hosting than I do. I mean, I'm an old game journalist who used to write stuff. So for me, talking on a podcast is much more difficult than writing it down on paper. So, he's a hell of a lot more freewheeling than I am. And that he made it, he was an awesome host when he was with me. So, I've always been happy for what he's doing. But he's got a different style, and their podcast is different than what we do. And I'm not changing what we do, and we're not an anything centric podcast. Suck it. All right, I'm off my soapbox.
No, I agree with you.
Sorry.
Where were we?
Sorry.
No.
That is all my fault. That is all my fault. You know what? I shouldn't even have died. I shouldn't even have entertained it.
I don't blame you. It just my fault. No, I agree with you. It's just ridiculous that we have to keep coming back to this, because we all get on these podcasts. You've been doing these podcasts for a long time. You've always supported console gaming all across the board, but this whole stupid console war keeps spinning that wheel, and that's what it's ridiculous to see these other podcasts. That's how they have tons of subs, because they go along with the whole,
I'm also not controversial. So we're more matter of fact. We like to see the good in the gaming. Look, we'll when stuff happens, like I said, we're going to talk about this dashboard on Sunday. Sorry guys, there's a new dashboard that's being beta tested. I'm really sorry that Sony doesn't have a dashboard coming out that I can talk about on Sunday. I'm really sorry, guys. But
let's face it, PlayStation dashboard's been same dashboard for the last 3 generations,
right?
Just about.
And you know what? And for full disclosure, I have signed up for every beta that there is. And in fact, when the last firmware update came out, we streamed it just like we always do. If there comes a point to where I sign up for a PS4 beta update beta, and they actually let me in, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, as long as there's no NDAs.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. There's a dashboard update this week for those of us in the alpha program, and I'm going to show it to people, and I'm gonna be as honest about it as I was tonight. You're gonna hear the good and the bad, but I guess it just makes me an Xbot.
And
but
there's a reason why you're like the person I really respect most on YouTube, and always have, and that's because you've got an unbiased opinion, and you try and look at things from all sides before just splitting out first bullshit that comes out of your mouth.
yeah, I mean that's the way. To me, that's the way it should be. We need to have more objectivity out there. You know, it can't just, you know. But
there's also a lot of bullshit out there that you know, people are, oh my God, this guy said this, or oh my God, did you hear what happened here? You got, you know, did you see this?
That's the shit about Twitter that I hate. This inconsequential, everyday bullshit that no one gives a fuck about. Like,
right. That in the real world means absolutely nothing. But it makes for a great great bitch session. And so people, you know, that's what you
big old back and forth circle jerk.
I can't do it. I can't do it. So all right. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I'm wasting too much of your guys' time on this.
Anybody else pick up Hellblade?
Oh, that's my weekend purchase. I've heard so much good stuff about that.
Gotta do it. I gotta give it a
that
shot.
Might be. Yeah.
Have you played it? Have you been playing it?
I have. I'm about 6 hours in. I think I'm close to the end. I don't know how much I got left. I think there's only like 13, 14 achievements. I think I've got 9 of them. And if that gives any, I don't know. I don't know how far. I know the story. The story is amazing. I've missed a couple things. I'm gonna have to go back through and play it again. There's these little kind of runestone things that kind of tell little stories throughout the game that they kind of hide. And I think I've missed a couple of those. So I'm gonna have to go back through and do another. I mean, I want to do another playthrough. The game is just fantastic. The atmosphere, the graphics are incredible. The sound design is just on point. I mean, it's some of the best.
I hear you have
headphones.
That's what I was hearing. It's like I've heard multiple people say you got to play it with headphones.
Yeah, it's got this 3D oral sound design thing that it really comes at you from all the. I mean, you got these little voices whispering behind you, and it's crazy. And then there's also points in the game because there's no heads up display. They don't hold your hand at all in this game. But what they do have is some verbal cues. So even in combat, because you get some of the combat, it starts out pretty simple, pretty vanilla combat. I mean, I like it, but straightforward, 3 buttons and a dodge. I mean, it's pretty simple. Sort of, compared to like a, sort of a Dark Souls kind of. It's hard to go that far with it because it's sort of a watered down.
How does every game now get compared to Dark Souls?
Well, it's sort of that one-on-one, kind of dodge attack, guide. Gotcha. A lot of games have kind of done that, but this one does. It actually gets really good because there are certain enemy types, and you kind of get to know patterns for each enemy type as you go through. Like they're kind of immune to a fast attack, so you gotta do a melee attack, then hit the fast. You get different combinations with different people, but again, there's no heads up about anything, but then you get multiple enemies that they'll look behind you. You get these little voices. You gotta do a quick parry or a quick block, and it's just fantastic. The story part of it's great. The visuals, oh my gosh! I mean, I'm playing it on PC, and and I've got it maxed out. I got it, all the settings, and it runs just flawless too. That's another. It's nice to see games. It's so sad how many games that come out, day one where they just run like crap, and it takes them a month to get them running right, especially on PC. It runs into, seems like a lot more issues with that on PC than on consoles. But this one is just fantastic. I mean, I've had no stutters, no issues whatsoever. I did have a little controller. I guess I can't say there was and that was on Steam's end. That wasn't. I don't think that had to do with the game. There was some issue with the controller not working. I had to go into Steam, disable a couple settings or whatever, but that was a real quick, simple fix. And other than that, it's just been absolutely. I'm just blown away. I really didn't. It was a game that I never really heard anybody talking about. I mean, it was self-published, that Ninja Theory, and just kind of came out of nowhere as far as I'd heard a little bit about it, saw a little something about it on at E3, but really I did not a lot of hype about it, and then when I think I didn't want to watch. I started to watch Short Pause did their release day playthrough. I don't know if anybody saw their video on that. And I started to watch that a little bit, and then I thought, wait a minute, this looks really good. Like, what is this game, And I'm like, I don't want to watch any more of this because I don't want to spoil. And I don't I hate to not recommend watching, a friend's channel or whatever, but don't spoil that game. Just get in, just buy it, just play that game. It's worth every penny. It's only $30. It is worth every penny. It is absolutely just a masterclass of game development. It's beautiful, immersive. It's not for everybody. I can see some people that wouldn't. It is a bit slow in parts. There is parts where you kind of, are traversing in between areas that. But there's dialogue stuff going on at the same time. There's sort of this, kind of a mental illness kind of thing, and the voices in your head kind of stuff that they played into it, and it's just amazing. I can't wait to jump off here and jump back into there. It's
nice.
The game, it's really got.
That's when the game is good, where you can't wait to get back to it.
Yeah. I mean, I was playing last night, and I had to jump on the Xbox for a little bit. Played for about 2 hours last night when I first got it, and then this morning I got up and just jumped on it first thing and played for another like 4 or 5 hours straight. Just amazing game, really, really good.
But
highly recommended.
Well, the NOG guys, you guys need to wait until it comes on Xboxes. You're not, remember.
Right.
Well, you got to wait.
Right.
It's Scorpio.
Yeah. But no, the rumor is that that game, because it came out physical also, right? No, only digital.
It's so crazy fast.
Yeah. But supposedly, even
that's,
like
you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna dedicate our entire next show to petitioning Ninja Theory. Because that's the only way we can play it.
Yeah.
Bastards.
So,
but no, supposedly that game and Crash Bandicoot, maybe even Nioh, might still come over to Xbox because those games didn't say exclusive to PS4. So there's a chance that
eventually they haven't sent it away, but I think it's probably.
So before we jump out of here, and we pretty much covered a kind of a witty rant. Mike, you already kind of covered witty rant because you went on the.
No. Come on, Witty. No. Don't.
That kind of
don't make me feel bad.
That stuff pisses off Witty too. So you kind of.
I took. No. See, now here I go. I come on somebody else's program and then I take their shit. No. Witty, come on.
No, it's good, man.
No, he's been wanting.
What I needed to
invent on that.
I've had an alright week gaming.
Yeah.
Some big install time, so I kind of had my run anyway.
But before we head out, we're gonna kind of get out of gaming a little bit, and we're gonna talk a little bit about football, Mike. Because we are kind of waiting for a couple people, and I think you're one of them that hasn't.
Oh yeah, I am. I gotta get signed up. I gotta get signed up.
Are you watching the game tonight? Did you already?
Oh,
Redskins
shoot.
And the Ravens.
Oh, that's already on. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. But Ryan Mallett's playing, so no, not really.
Preseason football is hard to get into.
Yeah. Well, I sold my preseason tickets.
Oh, wow.
I'm not. I'll be out there. I'll be out there come Bengals.
Yeah, you pick certain games. Yeah.
Well, no, I have PSLs. So I had to sell off a couple of tickets this year because of scheduling, but I'll be at 6 of the 8 games this year. There's too many. There's just way too many good games the Ravens are playing this year at home to to sell a lot of the tickets this year.
Yeah.
So plus the boys getting older. He's starting to understand it a bit more.
Yeah.
So getting him more involved in the tradition of going to Ravens games and stuff like that. That works. So
that's got to be fun. That division that the Ravens are in is probably just as good or better than the NFC East, I think, as far as the rivalry, because you get to watch, the Ravens versus, the Bengals, the Ravens versus Steelers, and then you got
you can say it, the Browns.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're in that division too.
They're in that division too. Yeah, they still have a team.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's their quarterback now? Isn't it?
I don't know if Osweiler is going to be the starter. There's someone else that was there last year. They brought in Osweiler and somebody else.
Osweiler, that's who's their.
Yeah, he might
which means they're going to go 0-16.
Yeah. That's the place to go, to quarterbacks to go and die.
Yeah.
So I mean, even when you get drafted to that team, you don't.
Yeah, you're all great for like, I'm here to help the team become great, and then next thing you know, you're mired in nothingness.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I can't wait. There's gonna be some games tonight. There's some games tomorrow. And Cowboys play Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a Cowboys guy. So.
Yeah, the Dak Prescott show.
I'm excited. I'm glad Romo is out. I don't mind. I'll be glad to watch him on CBS as an anchor. And I'm gonna enjoy Dak and Ezekiel Elliott. So I'm excited where that's gonna go.
I don't know where that's.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's a busy man.
It's Brock Osweiler on the phone.
Coop, what's your team, Coop?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. The good car.
That's right. The good car. Hey, if his brother would have been on a good team.
Well, that's true. I mean, it was the Texans.
Yeah.
You wonder how David feels watching his brother become the highest paid quarterback in the league,
sure
and he's sitting at home.
Well, no, he's on NFL Network. He's on.
Oh, is he? Did he get?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I mean, his brother just landed on a better team, better offensive line. That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Of course, he still got hurt last year. So,
Coop, how you think they're going to do this year?
Raiders?
Oh,
yeah.
Super Bowl down. What are you talking about?
Might be Cowboys and Raiders Super Bowl.
All the way.
It might be. I mean,
Marshawn coming home. Heck yeah.
That's
that's right, HDK. I might do that. I was telling Fastback earlier, the first year, and this has gotta be, I don't know how many, 15 whatever years. First year that I played fantasy football, a good friend of mine, actually we still have the same league. We've been going forever. And I didn't really know anything about fantasy football. Never played any fantasy sports. I knew football, but didn't know. Had never done the. So when we're doing the draft, I chose all Raiders. It was like he's obviously a grown-up Raider fan, huge Raider fan. So every time a Raider, it's my turn. I had like my whole queue was all Raiders. So anytime, and even if they were like not even ranked. And my team was absolute dog meat. I mean, I got worked that year. I maybe won 2 games.
I bet.
So yeah, that not a good strategy.
Yeah, first time I played fantasy football was before 2000. Well, yeah. No, right around 2000. Yeah, about 2000 on Yahoo.
Yeah, I think that was about the same.
Yeah. I actually did
I think
pretty
we
good.
did it on ESPN. Actually, yeah, it is. It's on ESPN.
Yeah, they got them all over. Yeah. But hopefully, Mike, I'm planning on doing a football podcast. It's just a matter of like when and what time. It's so. Yeah. So I was talking to Coop, but trying to figure it out. So hopefully we get it going and figure out a date and time when the season starts. So.
Okay. I don't know how often I can be on it, but I will do my best.
Yeah, so whoever wants to jump in whenever, that's talk some football.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking real football, then
my
team's Man United.
Oh God! Always got to be.
No, we're not talking football.
It's always got to be that guy.
Well, Witty, you got a couple
always
teams.
Got to be that guy.
You got a couple teams to choose from every year in London, so.
They should just stay up. Yankee Land.
Oh yeah, the Ravens are going to London. The Ravens are actually going to London this year. They're playing. I think they're playing the Jaguars or something. They're going to be in London this year.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be 2 games in London, right? Because they did 2 last year. The last 2 years.
I don't know.
Used to go 1 game, and then now they're doing 2 separate games.
I think they were on about pretty soonish. I think it's got to be 5 or more.
They're up. Yeah, they're gonna continue doing more.
They're trying to make this into something that. What's the reception like of the NFL over there? I mean, from the perspective of somebody who actually lives there and isn't a broadcaster trying to promote the sport because you need ratings. What's your take seriously on?
I haven't actually seen ratings of it, but it seems to be doing all right. I don't know.
I mean, do people really like watching it?
Up north, we like proper rugby. Rugby union or rugby league. Rugby league's his favourite, but I don't know with that. You might be doing better asking Daz next week. I think he's down south.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a start to try to branch out. I think they must be making money from it, so it can only be a good thing for them, can't it?
I think the games sell out.
Yeah, man.
Obviously,
they always do it at Wembley. I think it's 80,000.
Yeah.
So the demand down south for it. I just don't know if there'll ever be one up north.
But yeah, that's what NFL's goal is, to try to get a permanent team in London.
That's great.
So we shall see. But yeah, I'm excited. Ready for some football.
Bring it on.
All right. I'm ready.
Yeah. So who's going to be the quarterback for the Ravens then?
Flacco's going to be back by the beginning of the year.
I'm saying it might be out, 8-10 weeks?
No. He's going to be back. No, he'll be back. I'm almost positive the way they're talking about it that he'll probably be back by the 3rd preseason game. He's not that hurt. It's not a knee, it's his back. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, you had your chance to get Kaepernick. You could have even got Cutler, but you missed out on Cutler too. So. Yeah,
exactly. Look, if we had signed either of those 2 guys, I'd have been worried. Then I'd be like, that sounds like there's a problem. But no, there's the fact that they're going with Ryan Mallett and some kid from Stanford who's never thrown an NFL pass in his life tells me that they are well aware that Flacco's, that they're probably just resting him, because it's preseason.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in Ryan Mallett when he was in with the Texans. I thought he was going to be more than,
Yeah, I did too.
Promise when he was with the he was with New England, right? For a while.
No, that was Matt Castle.
I know. Not well. Castle was. I thought Mallett was there. He was there in New England too for a while after Castle. Yeah.
Was he their backup?
Yeah. And then he went to the Texans, and everybody thought, okay, he might, be the guy because the coach with the Texans, he was the quarterback coach in New England.
Right. Now I remember.
That never turned out to be anything. So
no.
Texans have been having a hard time with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
What's the name? I saw a little bit of gameplay. The guy they got from Clemson, he doesn't look too bad. So
Mount was drafted by New England.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know how they are with those high draft picks, with those low draft picks, rather. And 6-rounders seem to be good for them.
They do. They pretty well.
Well, we are at the end of the podcast. It's been about 3 hours.
3 hours. You're 3 hours closer to death.
Hey, this is our first 2-hour podcast. All right. I kind of figured it would go longer. I don't have no problem.
I have totally ruined you guys. I'm sorry.
Listen, this is a special podcast, so
we'll leave you to apologize to Four Guys with Quarters.
Right.
Yeah, because that's one reason too. Like we like to go watch them too.
Yeah.
So kind of run into their podcast, and that's one reason why we always start at 5.
Yeah.
But well, it's all good.
We get the Godfather on.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, man.
So Mike,
do this podcast if it wasn't for you, Stinger.
Exactly.
Man, you guys, I can't even.
So
I can't. You don't know how humbling that is. I mean, I'm serious, dead serious. You guys have no idea how humbling it is to hear something like that. I mean, that is,
we appreciate.
I'm just an unknown Xbot. It's you guys.
Yeah, same here, mate. All I know is you've always been sound with me.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and you're my boys. You guys, it is gaming with you guys is fantastic.
But one thing too. One thing I think is cool, Mike, about you, because you've been a journalist before, gaming journalist. You're down to earth. You come back. You're over here just bullshitting with the rest of us regular gamers. We're not. It's like I put them in the description. We're not writers. We're not professionals. And you have you're just down to earth with us. And you see other people in the YouTube world, and they're writers, and they just don't connect with gamers. Unless you're certain people, but I think it's cool that
I mean, I've been gaming since I was 7 years old. I mean,
yeah, and then
we laugh about we always joke about my age, but I mean, I was playing the Atari and the Intellivision and those things. I mean, I
was too. That's part of the reason I gravitate. I'm the same. We're the same age. I mean, I had the same thing. I started out, I know, a Pong machine that I used to sneak in and play with my uncle when I was like 7 years old.
Well,
that's awesome.
Well, everybody thinks Mike is older than Dirt. Mike, how old are you?
I'm 43. I'll be 44. I'll be 44 in about 3 weeks.
See, I'm older than you.
I'm not the oldest person on the podcast. I'm not the oldest person on my own podcast.
I just turned 43.
Who would have thought it? I'm the youngest of the bunch.
Yeah. Baby. Witty's the baby. He's always crying and throwing controllers and blaming Xbox because his controllers don't work.
Yeah, not flawed in it, not fucking bright.
So I mean, I'm 43. I just turned 43.
It's not asking for much, is it?
Huh?
I said it's not asking for much, is it, to drop a controller and floor in it to work afterwards? Well, as it used to.
All right, those Nintendo controllers, those things lasted pretty good. Yeah, got thrown plenty of times during Super Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I used to throw a 360 pad against wall all the time. And Only one sprocket. When I unluckily hit one at like bumpers. I wouldn't dare do that with one of these new ones.
Oh, remember the old Nintendo 64
I've had to learn
controllers?
how to chill.
Those were garbage, man. I used to have like a box full of broken.
Nah.
Man, that's the worst. That joystick, oh man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I never had an issue with my N64
Only
controller.
issues I used to have were with
Man, I went
wires.
through a bunch of those ones.
You know, where you'd be like pulling on them or whatever like that, or you'd like tripped over. Being fucking like quick fucking yank, it's never good for a wire, is it?
Yeah.
That's right, 360 one were good though. It had that little
breakaway
bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was nice.
Well, that started with the Xbox. The Xbox has the breakaway.
Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, I never had one of them, so.
Actually, you know, no, they didn't have breakaway, but they had extend. They were the first ones with extenders. I think was Genesis had Genesis had extenders.
I think PS2 had them, didn't they, as well? I'm sure one at PlayStation's had them.
The breakaway? That on PlayStation?
I don't think they had breakaway. No, because I got a couple PS2 controllers still. I don't think they did.
Yeah.
God knows. It's that long ago.
I still have my hub. I had like this hub thing where you could stand there. You could do the vertical stand, and it had like a multi controller hub. You could plug like 4 controllers into the into the game thing, the console, and then you plug the controllers into that thing. I still have that thing. Yeah, I don't remember any breakaway cables on that one. Might have had like an aftermarket.
I'm sure I played something with them. Maybe with Nintendo N64 or something. God knows.
So, Mike, before we head out,
yes, sir.
Where can we find you? Where can people?
Xbox.com. So you can find us at youtube.com/theoriginalnextlevelgaming, all one word. We have a lot of well, it hasn't been as much lately. I've got to get back into doing some streaming. And Hellblade might be the game to do it. I haven't done streaming in a while. We have some great gameplay stuff from our great crew. You guys know who they are. We have Juan, who does some fantastic retro stuff. He does the Retro Recs every week on the podcast, and then we're starting to bring those Retro Recs directly to the channel. Our podcast is on Sunday nights at 9 p.m., so set your DVRs for Game of Thrones and come see us. And don't worry, everybody dies in Game of Thrones, so that's all you really got to know. Come check us out. We'd love to have you in our chat room. You can see these absolutely fine gamers in the chat room as well, and come hang out with us.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And thanks for having me on this show, man. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Oh man, my pleasure. You guys are my boys.
And
Witty. Good, man.
And also we're I was telling Witty, we're maybe not today, but when we're back on our regular schedule, we're thinking about after the podcast, then going straight to jump on a game and we'll have Witty stream it and do like another hour of gaming after the podcast. So
well, I was about to say, if you're all gaming afterwards, why don't we jump on Forza or something?
Forza?
Yeah, man. Seeing as Mike don't have GTA.
Oh.
I don't know what else we all own, to be quite fair.
Yeah, maybe after this, we'll see what everybody else, if they can jump on, then you can stream that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, we can all stream it if you want, co-stream.
And
do it with a simple button press, can't you? Like party thing.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, and I put in the, I think I have it in the description. Thought I updated it. but I could have sworn I did because I thought I put Witty. I thought I put your YouTube page, and then I put
yeah, man, you're still not giving me
Coops.
an extra subscriber, you bastard.
So
but
I could have sworn I updated it. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm still a rookie at this. I'm learning, Mike. I'm learning.
You're doing a fine job.
But and then Coop, where can we find you, Coop? Any latest droning?
I posted a couple videos last week. Got a couple more I'm working on. Actually, that reminds me, I got might have my first paying gig here coming up.
Cool.
So yeah, got a.
Is moonlighting as a drone pilot.
That's right.
What are you getting? You getting job with local takeaway?
That's right.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got posted a couple. I got a buddy who has a. They fly model airplanes. They build these custom model airplanes. They fly them down the park. And it's fun to go. I try to follow them around and shoot videos of them. It's fun. It's good practice, building up the camera work skills and so yeah, I just put together a bunch of videos for those guys. Actually, I have a ton of footage even still. I just posted I think 2 or 3 of them last weekend, and yeah, more coming up. Probably go fly tomorrow, and droning out. No G.
All right. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll make sure to update the description. I could have sworn that I did, but I guess I must have created this podcast, and but I didn't update the latest info. It'll be in there next week. Before we head out, just give a quick shout out to a couple of guys that came out. UK Daz, Frankie. So he shows up in our podcast, Mike. He's been on a regular basis.
I know.
Well, he was on NOG the last 2, so I've been impressed with them.
Yeah, shout out to Short Pond. These guys are great.
Yeah. Who else showed up? HTK.
Nate in there for a bit. Yeah,
Nate.
Yeah, that's been in there.
HTK is always
my faithful Xbox crew.
The one-man army. The one-man faithful.
Barrel rolls.
Yeah, barrel rolls.
He's on here for Mike, isn't he?
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that came out. And give us a listen and a like or a thumbs down, whichever. And we appreciate it.
You thumbs down these guys, you're gonna have to deal with me.
And
well, my record is like going strong. I've had basically no dislikes at all. I got one random one on one of my achievement guide vids, and he can fuck off. Was striking for record. You don't know what he's talking about.
Hey, actually, did you see the little news snippet today? They were talking about changing the achievement system for.
Oh yeah, Mikey Barr was talking about that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I did not see that.
Interesting. Yeah, they're saying, well, you know how if somebody, they play the same game. I mean, here, look at a guy like Juan who's got 1,000 hours in Elite Dangerous or something, but I'm sure he's got every achievement, but you've still played, or you can have somebody who has a super low gamer score but has, 1,000 hours into Halo or something. They want it to reflect that, better than.
Cool.
Because that kind of goes along with me because I got tons of hours in certain games that like survival games like Ark and when I play Final Fantasy 11. But
tune in Sunday where we will dedicate our entire podcast to it.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. And next week we'll have UK Daz.
Nice.
So that'd be cool. And I mean that's,
With his Twitter.
the British invasion.
He's taking over Witty.
Been on this American football talk. You want to talk Man
Next week we're talking the real football. Not
right. Liverpool versus what team did Peter Moore take over?
Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool. They wish that 80s had never ended because it ain't got good for them ever since.
Well, you know what, man? Peter Moore's turned many a company around. So
well, I think that's wishful thinking, but you know, we'll leave that discussion till another day.
I believe in Peter.
Yeah, you're probably the only one.
Only because he was, he was an Xbox guy.
That's right. That's the only reason I like him.
All right, gentlemen. It was fun.
Look what I did to EA. That's a terrible. Even the one that introduced the EA player. What an atrocious, sad state of affairs that is.
That's okay. No, it worked out. Just a little bit of ring of death. No big deal.
Sure, they'll be fine. All they need is about 20 new players.
All right. So before we leave, Witty. What does W.F.C stand for besides Witty, Fastback, and Coop?
Fucking cares.
Wait, is that what that really stands for? Because that is awesome.
Yeah, man.
Witty, Fastback. I did not, dude. I feel so bad because I did not even put two and two together on that.
Yeah.
That is how dumb I am. Oh my God, Witty, Fastback. Oh, that's genius.
I give a nod to Coop. Coop is the one that we were trying to go back and forth. Like, hey, what should we? Coop kind of do that out.
That is fantastic.
And so that, and then like Coop even said, hey, it could also stand for who fucking cares, because that's kind of like our attitude about the whole console war and all the BS. Like when somebody comes in and gives you crap and all that, it's like, who cares? Let's just keep it gaming. So that's our attitude.
Like earlier, who really gives a fuck about crossplay?
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's why we talk about it on the.
Right.
There's some one army out there.
Yeah, but
and he's followed you. He's stalking you, mate. You might need to get a restraining order out.
You'll see him Sunday. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll see him. You might see him before. He might be window licking.
I have my truck decal of pissing on a PlayStation.
He could have given you some advice. He's just had a new security system fitted.
See, Mike, you were the first Xbox fanboy, weren't you?
I was. That is my doppelganger. The Xbox One fanboy. That's me. See, that's what people don't know. That's what people don't know. See, that it's secretly me. I just blame it on somebody else. That's all.
You got to get that hype going.
See,
yeah, I got to get the hype going.
Something to talk about.
I wouldn't want anybody to know that I actually, own and play other consoles. That would just be stupid.
See, this all started because you're a huge Sega Dreamcast guy, right? So you were disgruntled against Sony.
They hurt, right? As Peter Moore said, they hurt my Dreamcast.
Yes, and so you started the whole Xbox fanboy club. And look what it's done. Look how it's grown today.
Look, right, and look at all the Xbox fanboys that subscribe to our channel and watch our podcast. Like it's just that's all we are.
Yeah,
that's all we have.
But I bet you're the Xbox Gamer Club guy as well, aren't you? That I've had an argument with many a time.
Dude, have those people have me blocked. Are you kidding me? The hardcore Xbox guys have all blocked me.
I've stopped watching those guys. So
I mean, I'm serious. I've been blocked. Look, these are the guys, and the funny thing is the PS guys. This is the other funny part. I'll never forget this. I'm in the middle of doing a Horizon. Was it Horizon? No, I was in the middle of doing a freaking Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there. I was doing an Uncharted 4 walkthrough for the channel. Uncharted, one of my favorite series of all time.
Yep.
And the morons on the PS side are calling me an Xbot. I'm like, do you not see the game? Is this an Xbox game? Do you not see what I'm playing right now? The hell is wrong with you?
Maybe they thought you wanted there too. Even though
you know, all I wanted. This is what's wrong with social media too. It's too much nonsense. It's too much. I just want to talk about games in the industry and what's going on in the industry.
Yeah.
And you have to, when you're looking at things objectively, you also have to understand that you have to go where the news is. You have to go where the information is. And right now, like it or not, one company is putting out stuff on social media all friggin' day, every day, and one stays fairly quiet.
Yeah.
You don't, I don't have, and so unless we're going to start talking about, resolution and wars and, start calling out fanboys and stuff like that, unfortunately, we have to go where the news is. And the news right now kind of is, Microsoft has a bunch of stuff going on. When Sony has stuff going on, we're going to talk about it. And, it's just, but the other thing of it is I'm not just going to start picking topics that are, oh, did you see what Phil Spencer said today? That's for GameSpot to do. That's for those, that's not what we do. We talk about the industry and we it's just right now there's just a lot going on one side. When PSX, the show comes around, we're going to talk about that. If they make a big splash at Gamescom, we're going to talk about that. We live streamed the damn conference, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that was fun.
With a guy, by the way, who was a PS4 guy, and I guess because he was upset over the show, that's just, my boy Creepy Bunny. Good guy, by the way.
Yeah. I've watched a couple of his things. He puts out some good content.
Yeah. So, it's all right. All right. I'm serious. I'm really done this time. This is way too much for a 40. Way too much for a 43-year-old guy to even have to think about. The fact that I even have to address this nonsense is it shows that maybe perhaps I've aged out and I just won't admit it.
Yeah, that's why we just don't need to pay too much mind to those guys.
Oh.
The gaming.
Happy belated birthday, by the way. That's back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
man.
I was kind of sneaky about it last week.
Yeah.
Last week was my birthday.
So
when was yours, sweetie?
Your birthday's on Saturday?
Oh,
Saturday.
Happy belated birthday to you.
All right.
Last Saturday, that's why I've still got beers left over.
Oh, last Saturday was?
Yeah, man.
Cool.
35 now.
I didn't know that either. Well,
Wow.
Happy birthday to you too, man.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
Some couple of
I
Leos here.
don't make a song and dance about it like
Should've brought a
some
cake.
people do.
Yeah.
I
always
think
have
I've
a
still
cake.
got one somewhere. Half of that despicable me guy. Is dead somewhere.
As long as you don't look like a minion.
I'm probably not far off.
All right, guys. Well, we're out. I appreciate everybody coming in. It was fun.
All right.
Take it
Appreciate
easy.
you guys.
Yep.
All right.